Hi, this is Rachel from the Dotting Center. Today we're going to do something just for fun. We're going to take a plastic spray bottle and upcycle it into a beautiful dotted water spray bottle. Why would you use a water bottle, you might ask? Well, there are several different things that you might need this for, and I've compiled a small list here. So see, you could use it for ironing your clothes, watering your orchids, tame that cowlick, please. Or you could spray your acrylic paints. No, not like that, like this. And the reason why is because you know that little skin that develops on top of your acrylic paints when they're in the palette? You just walk away for 5 minutes and that thing skins up. So what do you need to do? You just need to spray it with a little bit of water before you walk away, and that will fix that problem. So let's go ahead and upcycle a water bottle. What do you say? So here is my spray bottle that I saved from the recycle bin, and you can see it's got this cute little pink button at the top, and it's just a tiny little bottle. Don't ask me to review this stuff. I'm not good at that, but this is a nice bottle. See how rigid that plastic is? That's going to, you don't want anything too squishy because the paint won't adhere. So we're going to take some rubbing alcohol and prep the surface. Just wash it down, get it nice and dry and clean and ready for paint. This is the paint that I picked. This is Blick Matte Acrylic. This I've found, even though it says that it's good for a variety of different surfaces, I found that it wasn't particularly great on plastic, which, to be fair, it isn't a multi-surface paint. I just liked the color and I wanted to use that color, and I made it work for this project, but next time I think I would use a multi-surface paint. So now we're just going to apply the paint. This is going to act as our base coat. And we're going to get enough paint on there to be opaque enough so that you can't see the letters underneath. I forgot to mention that I taped off the threading on where the cap twists onto the bottle. It's really important that you do that because you don't want to get any paint where the two plastic surfaces meet, because that could affect how the cap twists back onto the bottle. So you want to get paint just underneath that, and it'll give you a nice clean line, or at least it should have, but we'll see. Okay, so the paint is dry, but you can see the letters underneath. So you can see I need to apply one more coat of paint just to make sure that there's no hint of what's underneath that paint. So we're just gonna add one more layer and that should be fine. Okay, so now that that is dried, I go to take the tape off and then check out what happens. You see how it peeled up? It peeled up along the edge where it wasn't taped. So that tells me it didn't really adhere very well to the bottle. But I am in love with this color, so I just make it work. I paint that just by hand. I let that dry. And this is the bottle. It's ready to paint. So I'm going to get my tools. I'm going to pick out just a variety of colors, and I just went nuts. These are all DecoArt Americana colors, and I just picked out which ones I liked, and then I edited that. I went with warm tones and some neons. So here's the surface, and now what I want to do is just draw a line that cuts it in half and gives me a guideline so that my first line is completely straight. And this is just going to be the only line for the entire thing, and it's just going to give me a reference so that I can make my dots super straight from the start. And I'm going to start with the color that is exciting me the very most, and that's this neon color. One skill that I have just recently picked up on after years of painting with dots is how to approach a line of dots. So you have this object and you start at a fixed point and you end at a fixed point. Now, there are two different ways to approach that. The first way is you make a dot in the beginning, you make a dot at the end, and then you cut in half segments of that line just by seeing what fits. Now you can see here I'm dry fitting the tool. I can see that that is going to fit. And so that is how you approach building a line made out of dots. One of the things that I loved about this project was the color choices were just fun. It felt like play because it was very intuitive. This makes no sense. This color scheme, it has no reference to the color wheel. It is just kind of whatever color I want to play with next and what colors I feel are going to vibe really well next to each other. And that is exciting. I don't feel like I'm limited in any way by sticking with the rules. I'm a rebel, a color rebel. And this was a lot of fun. So you can see this is another way to approach a space in between dots. You just add 2 dots instead of 1. So this year I am going to be posting a ton of upcycle projects. This kind of project is something that I get a special charge out of. So it is, number 1, you get extra points because you pull something out of the recycle bin, you find a second life for that object, and let's be honest, most of the stuff that we buy in the stores these days, it's overpackaged, right? Especially personal care products, beauty products. You're buying the packaging in a lot of cases. So this week, I challenge you to pay attention when you're in your home. Take a look in the kitchen cabinets, all the cleaning products that you use, those fancy organic counter cleaners. Check out the spray bottle on those things. Check out your beauty products. Shampoos, moisturizer containers are beautiful. All of these things can have a second purpose, a second life. And you will be surprised if you train your eye to look at the packaging on some of the products that you buy. The packaging and the bottles and the containers that these products come in, it's like a gold mine. It is like you can find a second use for these things, and it's like a special kind of practical charge that you'll get when you use these containers in a completely new and fun way. I promise you, you're going to love it. Now, there are some artists that paint nothing but upcycled objects. So CDs, records, things that had a previous life and now need to be revived and amped up into an art object. I love it. I'm all for it. And if you have any ideas, please list them in the comments section below. List the item and the name brand of the upcycle containers that you paint. And for extra credit, if you want to show everybody, go to the Dotting Center group on Facebook. If you haven't already joined, There are a ton of so talented dotting artists that share their work there. I have seen so many CDs, albums, glass containers, candle jars, wine glasses, anything you could possibly imagine. And it's been painted on, and I just love it. I love seeing your work. So go there and share, and you can learn from all the artists in our group. So here, as the project was coming to a close, I wanted to make sure that this zipped up like a little zipper, and made sure that the dots just fit together nicely. And I noticed that the spacing was off by like a 0.5 millimeter. It really wasn't that bad from the left to the right. But whenever you have a questionable amount of space that you want to fill just very quietly, use a color that is not loud. That is this gray is kind of the same value as the background color, so I could get away with a little bit of extra space fudging. And you don't want to put a super bright color for a line that might need some space adjustments. And then there it is. That is it. And I decided to just keep it one level of dots. I didn't want to put top dots on. This was bright enough as it was, and I was excited about it. Look at this. So fun. So I'm going to let that dry and then come back. Now it's all dry. And I'm just going to wipe off that chalk line. And now it's ready for varnish. So I'm going to do the same thing with the frog tape. This is the painter's tape. Just go right over those threads. And then I thought I was smart, and I just stuck it in there with a pencil upside down in the grass. This stuff is amazing. So this spray varnish is going to give the bottle a nice thick, clear, hard shell that's going to resist any kind of peeling or chipping of the paint. And it's going to be good for heavy use. So there it is, our upcycled water bottle, saved from the recycle bin. Feels so good. And I'm so excited to use it. I dare my acrylic paints to dry up on me now. Oh, bless you. Well, if you liked this project, hit the like button, and if you'd like to see more, subscribe to my channel. And as always, you can visit me at thedottingcenter.com for all your art supply needs. This was a fun one. I can't wait to share what's next. All right, guys, until next time, bye.